Today we're back and we're getting into Olympics drama. I've done a super deep dive before on Olympic history and Hercules and Olympiad, so check that one out too. But let's do a little check-in on the drama for Winter 2022 Olympics because you guys, it is real. Okay, so first of all, and probably the biggest drama is that the Olympics are being held in Beijing, which is in a lot of hot water for a ton of human rights issues. Also about cost and environmental impact in a Frozen song. But at the moment, the human rights part is definitely the biggest issue, so let's get into that. So first of all, background context. The Uyghurs are a Turkic ethnic group recognized as native to the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in northwest China. Most identify as Muslim, and Islam plays an important role in the Uyghur culture and identity. Since like 2014-ish, the Chinese government has forced Uyghur people into internment camps without any legal process, subjected them to forced sterilization and labor, really horrible treatment and abuses. It is the largest skilled detention of an ethnic and religious minority since World War II. Publicly, the Chinese government says that these camps are providing vocational training to the Uyghurs and preventing separatism and fighting terrorism, but no. So there have been protests and boycotts, and the World Uyghur Congress has basically been like, we don't want a full boycott of the games. We do want the games to raise awareness for what's happening to us, similar to the way that athletes have raised the profile of Black Lives Matter. Other groups have been trying to get the whole shebang canceled or moved or calling on NBC to cancel the broadcasting, but where we stand right now is that the US is doing a diplomatic boycott, so athletes go and compete, but no US officials will attend the games. Australia then joined the US in the diplomatic boycott, then Lithuania, then the UK, and Canada, then Estonia, and Latvia, and Sweden, and Denmark, and the Netherlands. So that's the political side, but there are a few other things going off the rails. First of all, the cost. There's not really like reliably going to be enough snow for all the winter sports, which means you got to truck in the snow from other areas, which is unsurprisingly super expensive and not great for the earth. Also, censorship. The Chinese government has banned Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Wikipedia, and the press and internet are severely restricted. So a lot of these issues we're talking about obviously aren't really going to get publicized in China itself. There's also the My 2022 app, which is a required app for all attendees to the game, so that's athletes, audience members, and the media for daily COVID monitoring, but there have been flags raised by cybersecurity groups that the app fails to encrypt private information, has major security weaknesses, and collects lots of personal and medical data that's sort of not necessary for them to collect. Athletes and attendees from the US and some other Western countries have been encouraged to use burner phones while in China and leave their devices at home, so everybody can pretend like they're in a mafia movie. But then how will we get TikToks from the athletes? I must know. Also, this isn't as big of a deal, but mild drama. There's a promotional song for the 2022 Olympics called the Ice and Snow Dance, and it sounds sort of suspiciously exactly like Let It Go from Frozen. You got it. It's very similar. In more fun news, there will be some new sports, mixed men's and women's teams in snowboarding, freestyle skiing, short track, speed skating, and ski jumping. Did I end it on a good note, or was that too much bad stuff? So that's the tea on the Winter Games. I'm not an expert, but I did a little digging, and the best things that we can do to help the plight of the Uyghur people are to spread awareness of what's happening to them, write to our representatives, and so we can donate to Uyghurs who have fled to Turkey or Uyghur advocacy groups. So let's do it! I hope you feel very caught up. I'll see you next week to talk about the Super Bowl!